All right, I'd like to welcome everybody here to July 28, 2025, regular scheduled council meeting. We do have a certification of a quorum. This time, I'd like for everybody to join us in pledge of allegiance and invocation. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Councilman Koblenz.
Good evening. If y'all could just bear with me just a second, I want to preempt this prayer. Over 2,000 years ago, the disciples asked Jesus, teach us how to pray. If y'all know about that. And that's what has brought about the Lord's Prayer. And it's been on my heart this evening that that's the prayer I want to pray tonight. So if we can all bow our heads. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
Good choice. All right, this time we're going to move on to item number 4. We have a public hearing for P 2025-03, an application by Edward Vallejo, the fourth potential buyer on behalf of property owner, and for replat of approximately 8.0647 acres of Prairie Park Estates Block 1, Lot 1 through 27, lot detention pond, general location 0 Frankie multiple, El Campo, Texas 77437. This time, we're opening this public hearing. This time, we will close it. Moving on to item number 5, we're going into public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the city council. In compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, the city council is limited to making a statement of specific factual information in response to the inquiry or reciting existing policy, but may not discuss, deliberate, or take any action on any item. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. The issue may be placed on a future agenda for consideration. At this time, we got 2 that have signed up to speak. This time, I'd like to call Blair Henderson up to the podium. Or Joseph Bramante can go first. All right. Joseph, you know you can state your name, address, and everything.
Yes, sir. Joseph Bramante, 4914 Brinkman, Houston, Texas. So I just wanted to take a few minutes, apologize about the scare in the paper you guys probably saw a few weeks ago. Just a language issue, just with the way the lender words things. So we've actually flown them in here today just so they can tell you in their own words about what we're actually building and the loan itself. I know it made reference to use the term rent restriction, which again, we are absolutely not low income with that. There is a rent restriction, but it's a very high threshold. It's 115% of the area median income. Our rents are well over $1,400 a month on average. So it's well above anything that would be considered not low income or anything like that. So not low income. And the reason we were published in the paper recently was around this environmental. So actually just found out today that we've since passed that phase. So we've got 2 remaining phases, which is just the final underwriting review by the lender, and then the loan document preparation phase. So the last phase is pretty quick. So we just finish up some final underwriting with the lender, and we're good to go. But from our end, as the sponsor, we've submitted everything since April. So it's been out of our hands since April. We're just kind of sitting and letting them do their process. It does take a little bit of time, and Blair's going to talk a little bit about that. But as of now, we are on track for a groundbreaking around the September timeline. There were some kind of delays on the lender side with all this Doge stuff. There were some layoffs on the HUD and USDA, which definitely slowed things down. Again, kind of out of our control. But anyway, we are pushing ahead. We're looking forward to that groundbreaking. So that was all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blair Henderson.
Hello, thank you for having me here. My name is Blair Henderson. I live in Tampa, Florida, 1328 Eccles Drive. So came all the way out for this obviously very important meeting, but really got to tell myself to remember to breathe. But through this, I work for Churchill Stateside Group. We are the largest RD 538 lender within this program. I'm actually a CPA. How I came into this was went to Churchill, developed their internal audit department from the ground up as the company was growing. So seeing all the processes and putting certain checks in play. Prior to this, I also worked at MetLife Corporate Internal Audit, PwC, so all the big firms. And that's one thing that I'd say that, through this, on a lending perspective, it's really about making sure that, we do our due diligence with vetting the sponsor, the management company, the architect, making sure that everything is like proper, right, and it all kind of makes sense. And I think that's also, it's not just us, but it's the other side too, is, we underwrite the deal on our end, we put everything together, make sure everything makes sense, and then we submit that to USDA, and then they go through the whole process, pull it all apart, make sure that what we're seeing is accurate and right, and supported through all the documents that we've compiled together. What Joseph was mentioning about this project is really it's a market rate project, and I can see where the concern came out with the public notice and people just having that preset notion, and I can't stress enough, this is a market rate deal. As a lender, we want to really bump up the rents to have them at the market, right at the market report, like at what the most they can charge and be there, and that helps maximize the deal, get the deal to the finish line as well. So it's really imperative for us to make sure that there is all the research there in the first place. And again, if this was an affordable deal, there would be gaps in the financing, and we wouldn't get it to, even to the finish line at that point. So the higher the rent, the more we're able to loan out. So hopefully I'm making sense within all this, but wanting to reassure, the group and everybody here that, we've done our due diligence. This is not affordable by any means. So hopefully, yes.
Thank you.
All right. We appreciate y'all coming in. Thank y'all. And we're going to move on. All right, we're moving on to item number 7, consideration of an action on. Number 1, consideration of an action on the 2025 certified property tax roll.
You have the consent agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped one. Moving on to item number 6, consent agenda, approval of the city council regular meeting, July 14, 2025.
Mayor, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We got a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Now, moving on to item number 7. Consideration of an action on item number 1.
Mayor, it is staff's request that we postpone items 7.1, 7.2, 7.3 until we have the information available to present to you.
Did you need that in a motion?
No, I can pull items, correct? Yep.
Okay, city manager has pulled them first 3 items. We're gonna move on to item number 4. Resolution R 2025-36, awarding the primary disaster debris removal agreement to Ceres Environmental and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement and related documents.
Good evening. It's that time of the year again. We've exhausted our previous contract. We've renewed it as many times as we can with our debris removal companies. So we went back out for RFP, and we got 6 responses, and a committee of 3 evaluated those responses across many different things, not just cost, but also the equipment availability, contracts similar to our size, and numerous other items. In the end, the ranking came out with Ceres on top and DRC second, and that just happens to be how we currently have them ranked with our current contracts. Currently, Ceres is our primary and DRC is our second. And you'll see it's a 2.5-year contract initially, and the goal with that is to get it out of hurricane season when we're renewing next time, to get it off into the nice spring. So we recommend Ceres as the primary disaster debris removal company.
Jared, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do you guys, when you rank these, is it a blind ranking, or do you know who you're ranking at the top?
We know who they are, yes, sir.
All right. I'd like to make motion. Item number 4.
Sure, Mayor, I move to approve Resolution R 2025-36 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, a second on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 5. Resolution R 2025-37, awarding a secondary disaster debris removal agreement to DRC Emergency Services LLC and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement and related documents.
So same thing, DRC came out second, so we always try to have a secondary company just in case for some reason the first can't respond. So we recommend approving DRC as the secondary.
Mayor, I move to approve our Resolution R 2025-37 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, a second on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
All right. Moving on to item number 6. Resolution R 2025-38, approving a final plat of approximately 8.0647 acres of Prairie Park Estates Block 1, Lot 127, Lot Detention Pond, general location 0 Frankie, multiple, El Campo, Texas 77437, Wharton County, Texas.
All right, good evening. In your packet is a staff report that details this request for a plat. The plat is coming to you because it has more than 4 parcels. Anytime a plat has more than 4 parcels or involves the extensions of streets or utilities, it has to go through P&Z and council. This particular plat also required a variance for one of the parcels, which is included in this presentation as well, so that has already gone through. All right. Okay, so it's for plat 2025-03. The applicant is Edward Vallejo. He is purchasing this property. It has not been developable since it was platted in the condition that it's in currently. The condition of the streets and the landlocked retention pond are a challenge for development. You can see here that it is surrounded by other single-family areas, and it's right there on Frankie and Wharton Street. This is across from Friendship Park. It's often noticed as having tall grass, and we're having to go after that particular piece of that. So this would allow the opportunity for development in that area. As I mentioned, your current plat on the left has 2 cul-de-sacs, and it also has a landlocked retention pond. We are looking at doing a proposed plat in 2 phases. The first phase would be 9 lots on Frankie Street. Second phase will also be single-family development, potentially a cul-de-sac. That would come at a later time. Right now, we're just platting for the Frankie Street parcels and putting phase 2 together so that it can be platted with the cul-de-sac or however it ends up with single-family there later. As I mentioned, there is a parcel that does have 1 undersized lot. This is the parcel that's at the corner of Wharton and Frankie Street. It is 35 feet at the back, not the 70 that is required. Your Board of Adjustments has approved this variance, so if council approves this plat, then it would go through with that 1 undersized parcel dimension there. And as I mentioned, your plat was approved by your P&Z board, letter of recommendation included in your packet, and also your variance was approved by your Board of Adjustments. And this does meet our criteria for consideration for plats. Any questions? Yes, sir.
On the undersized lot, I'm assuming that the 70 feet versus 35 has to do with being able to build in there. There's certain restrictions with your setback, correct?
Yes. So in this case, this particular parcel is still developable with that smaller. We'll have to look at the direction of the house depending on whether it faces Wharton or Frankie. That also depends on TxDOT with regards to driveways. But it is over the minimum square footage size, so it is
Read that.
still developable with the undersized lot.
Okay. What size homes are they talking about building there, Crystal?
These will be individual single-family homes, probably 2 to 3 bedrooms, if I'm correct.
Affordable.
Kind of like you built on Avenue I?
Yes, sir, on Empire.
Yes.
And they'll be your entry-level homes.
Those
They
are
look
nice.
like what's there.
All right.
I have a quick question if I can.
Yes.
So on the Phase 2 in the Reserve A, is that space large enough for what was previously proposed with the cul-de-sacs?
Yes, we've actually worked with Edward to talk to his surveyor about potentially putting that in, and so they've kind of started drafting out, but we're not locking it in this, but it does have room for a cul-de-sac and the minimum size lots.
Okay, my last question, I didn't notice the planning and zoning letter, but was that a unanimous?
It was a small attendance that day, but it was unanimous for those who were here.
Thank you.
One more, what kind of timeline till you build, Edward?
On the first 9, I'd like to start pretty quick. I mean, almost immediate, as soon as I get everything filed with the county.
Our tax base would like you to start pretty quick too.
Yes, sir.
All right, any further discussion?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-38 as presented.
I'll second. Go ahead.
We got a motion and a second on the floor to approve resolution R 2025-38. All in favor? Any discussion? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 7, resolution R 2025-39, awarding construction of CDBG, MIT, MOD, Southside Drainage Improvements Project to Constar Construction for $1,217,783, authorizing the city manager or designee to execute all relevant documents and/or amendments.
Yeah, just a reminder, this is 100% funded through a grant, so none of these will be impacting your tax dollars at work. The original budget for this, as set up in the grant application, was $1,277,479. So last month, we asked you to reject the bids because they came over, and once we brought the project back out, and thank you again for rejecting those bids, we now have a project that is under budget for that construction. That 1.217 is about 59,000 under budget, which leaves you room for potential change orders as we work on this project. And we were happy that we received the 3 bids, including one that rebid. So we thought they were very fair and competitive. The recommendation from your engineer, Civitas, is included in your packet. And this is in District 2, Mr. Koblenz.
If you're not finished, go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay. So you said there's 59,000 left? Was there any thought of accepting any of the alternates? Or are you using, you want to kind of have that, leave that there for unforeseen, or?
I'm gonna let Kevin answer this question as our project manager for this project.
And I do have 2 questions, so.
Okay, well, as every project does, we uncover things that come along that
Okay.
probably could eat that. Some of those potential conflicts with utilities, we'll handle it because as well.
Okay. The second question. I did read through this. I agree that you should take that bid. I mean, I'm agreeing with that. Is there not a payment and performance bond required for any of these projects?
There was not on this one, but there were bonds that were required, but not a performance bond, just a surety,
Okay.
a bid bond. Is that correct, Sandy? You had to put in a
We had a bid bond, but there will be a performance and payment bond.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, the contractor's in the audience. I neglected to mention.
thank you.
Sorry, Sammy.
Can I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
So I noticed obviously this isn't my district, so I noticed that there are actual streets that are named that will have culverts and ditch improvements.
Absolutely.
There's no variant, that's not gonna change. That is part of the contract for that.
Yeah, that entire area has a lot of mismatched culverts.
Yes, it does.
A lot of grade changes that don't go anywhere or the proper places. Those will all be corrected. Everything's gonna be sized to get to those areas. Some of those larger, deeper ditches will be covered, especially at Wright Street. And hopefully there'll be some room to do some other things with this extra money, because we wanna spend every dollar of it.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
Mayor, make a motion, make sure I'm seeing this right, I don't have my glasses on, hang on. To approve resolution R 2025-39 as presented.
We got a motion. Anyone like to make a second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve resolution R 2025-39. All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 8. Resolution R 2025-40, approving a 36-month service agreement with Stryker for EMS equipment, maintenance, and authorizing the city manager or designee to execute all necessary documents.
All right, so most of our major equipment is manufactured by Stryker. In fact, all the big purchases y'all approved the last year and a half are Stryker products, so we already have the warranties on those. We built in the 5-year warranties right off the bat. This is just extending the warranty on some of our older stuff that we have. So 8 units need some type of extended warranty. We got the extra money this budget still from our billing revenue that's doing quite well. So I'd like to go ahead and pay for the 3-year service agreement to cover these 8 pieces now. And the only reason it has to come to y'all because it's right over that $50,000 mark.
Question, how long are we gonna keep those pieces?
They've been lasting around 10 years or so.
So 3 more years will be in that time frame?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Anybody like to make a motion? Resolution R 2025-40.
Mayor, I move that we move forward with approval of resolution R 2025-40 as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank y'all. All right, item number 9, resolution R 2025-41, authorizing reimbursement to El Campo Memorial Hospital for costs related to an emergency room canopy and dock extension, and authorizing the city manager to execute said agreement.
All right, so let me start off by saying this request came on behalf of us. With our ambulances that we have coming in at the end of the year, they're 4 inches taller than our current ambulances. Currently, when we back up our ambulances there, our crews have to remember to lower the liquid spring bags, so they can back in and not hit the upper canopy. Sometimes they don't, and it scrapes. So now that we have a 4-inch taller box, we're really gonna run into a problem. We're no longer gonna be able to lower it. So we're gonna have to park out in the driveway, something like that, to where the patients are being unloaded in the rain, the heat, and all that. With the extra revenue we have this year, I approached the hospital to see if we could maybe make some modifications to the ER. We've threw around quite a few ideas, and would like to come out with their loading dock looking bay they have there, 3 feet with some concrete, and then put maybe a 10-foot awning out over that bay. And that just, again, makes it to where our crews can back up. It actually makes it easier to unload the stretchers at the back, because right now when you unload the stretcher, you're pretty much at the wall, and then you have to raise it up to try to wiggle it around. Here they're gonna have 3 more feet working room. And yeah, so it'll be better for us and our patients. It really has no impact on the hospital, other than that's their patients that's coming to them. So that's why we offered to potentially pay for this if y'all agree to that. And they did seek out numerous quotes. They got some as high in the 60,000s, and then found a local quote that was quite a bit lower, in the $13,000 to $14,000 range. And then there's going to have to be some electrical work and all that. So we're putting it as a not to exceed amount of 18,000.
The problem, I see, the height won't bother you patient-wise, but extending the dock's gonna shut you down for a while.
So it's going to be just over the current parking area, so that ramp that's on the
I
right.
mean, time-wise to build the dock.
Yeah, so that ramp that's on the right side is still going to be there. They're not going to take into that, so we'll just pull up for the little bit of time that they're building during that week or however long it takes.
I didn't know if you could do it in a week. That's why I was concerned.
Yes, sir.
Garrett, I have two questions. The first question is, I would assume that the boxes on ambulances going forward will be roughly the same size?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the second question is just to confirm, you're proposing to pay for this out of budget surplus that you have?
Yes, yes, sir.
Good work.
Thank you.
Mayor, I move to approve Resolution R 2025-41 as presented.
I'll second.
We got a motion, a second on the floor. All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Item number 8, moving into reports.
Do you want me to?
Sure, why not, Courtney?
Well, we'll start with the citizen board and commission reports. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. If not, we'll move on to the next report.
Next one will be number 2. Fiscal year 25. Third quarter reports, investment, departmental, financial and capital projects. I think, everything's good on there. We'll move on to item number 9. We're gonna, at this time, we're gonna move into a closed executive session.
Yeah, this one's trickier.
Now, no action taken. We'll move on to item number 11. This meeting's adjourned. Thank y'all.
All right, nothing for me to sign, Mayor.
No, sir. Not today. All right, good to see you.
This one with us?
Just